So, and what's next? Is there a new project coming down the pipe?
We are well, as I say, we got a lot of work that we want to keep doing on Shadowrun. We've got Berlin, we've got localization, we've got the tablets to make sure we get out, and then the bringing it over to other operating systems. But we are starting to work on something that we're going to bring out to Kickstarter in early August. Going to start talking about that a little later in July. Not quite ready to take the wraps off it yet, but we got something that's pretty fun. That's pretty different. It's a
Okay.
harebrained scheme, as appropriate to the name.
All right. Well, we'll give us the heads up, and we'll give the word on our site and help out in any small tiny way we can.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm gonna, I think we're gonna get together in LA in a week or so, and I'll show it to you.
Yep. No, definitely. No, I'm a big, I mean, I'm a big fan of all this old fogies. Or what is the ACL or something?
Oh, I don't know.
Right.
It's just a lot of people
Dudes,
in this.
but-
girls, yeah.
I'm a Jordan's on, by the way.
Hi, Jordan.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you, Sandy.
Yeah.
So no, I'm a big fan of everyone that's sort of in the crowdfunding ecosphere to basically mutually support, because I don't really think there's much competition between us, because and we're pretty small compared to obviously the big publishers. So I think it's a smart thing for us all to support and encourage each other and let our communities know about each other, because I think from the way I look at it, it's sort of keeping a certain part of gaming alive that had gone away for a while, which I kind of missed, and that's kind of why I came back to do Star Citizen. And I think maybe it's I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think it's probably why you went and did Shadowrun, and Brian wanted to do Wasteland, and Tim wanted to go and do Double Fine Adventure, which is now Broken Age. It's just the ability to make a game that you love to make and have fun, that for whatever reason in today's world, isn't deemed a sure thing by a big publisher, because they want to sell 5 million units plus.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's well, you've been on both sides of this fence, both in Hollywood and on the game side, and unfortunately, there's more similarities now than there used to be, and both fall into the same traps where you've got to be these giant blockbusters to get funding, which tends to really narrow the kinds of games and movies that can get made. But there's significant audiences for the kinds of games, for a much wider spectrum of games, and we just needed a way to fund them in a unique way, and I think crowdfunding has really become the answer to that.
Well, it does it. I mean, it does it. And the other thing that's really interesting is that under the model that you go direct to the people that are going to buy the game anyway, that really love it. So that's the community that we have, the community you have. You actually don't need to sell. I don't know whether "sell" is the right word, but you don't need as many people as you do in the big publishing model. Because in the big publishing model, there's all these people along the way that take a cut of the money that comes in. So in the crowdfunding model right now, I mean, we're capturing 97% of the dollar, whereas in the old publishing model, maybe it was 25%. If you had the best royalty deal in the business, it would be 30%. So at that point, you basically, you only need to sell a third the copies to do exactly the same business you do in the traditional publishing model. That means, you suddenly can have a business that you can only sell 200,000 or 300,000 copies and it's viable, whereas in the big publishing business, you got to be in the millions. And that makes a big difference, because then it allows you to do some games that maybe, they don't have $5 million, but they've got 5 million, an audience of 5 million, but maybe there's 500,000 or a million people that love playing that game. And in the old days, that was considered a massive audience. Now it's considered a failure, and that's kind of sad.
It is. I totally agree. And for me, I've always loved, kind of this size studio. For me, the intimacy of a of a sub 50 person studio is great. And that's why I keep going back to the garage every time I start a new company. Get back with a small number of people that are really really focused and dedicated and really excited about bringing something new to the world. And to me, those are the most exciting times. When they get up into the hundreds of people, it's hard to keep that energy as pure as it is.
I know. Both me and you had our Microsoft time, so. Not like all the Microsoft guys were great. I mean, no, I actually don't like on a personal basis. I mean, I'm quite friendly, close even with a bunch of the EA senior staff executives because they were all there when I was there. And even on the Microsoft style, it's nothing to do with the individuals. It's just whenever you're a big organization, it's just a different beast. It's a different social dynamic. There's a lot of other things at play, and you lose that sense of like what you're talking about, where you have a small team, and like right now it's great. There is all Cloud Imperium's doing is making Star Citizen, and everyone's focused on it. And relatively to a AAA team, we're actually pretty small, but I think we're achieving kind of the same volume of output because we don't have all this extra noise and stuff that we have to deal with.
Yeah, and the ability to just laser focus is priceless. I mean, when I was at Microsoft and creative director for all of the whole category, right? I mean, flying around the world with talking to dozens and dozens of teams. In one hand, it's the best job in the world, right? I mean, you're creative director for a platform. On the other hand, it's like it was very hard to focus on something that you could put your own creative energy in and build, and so that's the benefit of small focused teams.
Yep. No, definitely. I mean, we quite like it. I mean, that's kind of one of the reasons why on the setup we have here, we sort of split it around. So we have Austin, we have LA, we're doing some work up in Montreal because I didn't actually want to have any one of the locations too big because I just sort of feel like you lose that tight, close team dynamic when it gets too big. It's almost like, once it gets so big that you can't take everyone out to lunch kind of thing, it sort of becomes more difficult.
Yeah, I agree.
Very cool. So I don't know if I wonder if have we asked our chat roll? I'm sure we've got a few Shadowrun backers.
Shadowrun backers.
I wonder if we have any crazy questions we can ask Jordan. Put him on the spot.
Oh, great.
You're just coming through now.
What's that?
You're just coming through now, so they'll
okay. It'll be we're on a delay because we're streaming through Twitch.
Yep, it's just getting here now.
While we're waiting for them, I like the metric of a company that's just large enough to take out to lunch is probably about the right size. Should probably try to coin that one.
Oh, here's a question: will Shadowrun be